High in the mountaintops of the consecrated snowfields, the Zamor Knights are said to be a reanimated corpse of an ancient ordered warrior. They wield curved great swords cackling with frostbite and fight with an elegance that borders on ritual. Blades taking arcs of frozen air, their movements calm, practiced, almost meditative. In death, the Zamor Knights still guard the graves of heroes who felled giants. Their purpose eroded, but their loyalty intact. They remain frozen echoes of an age before light and order, before faith hated the flame. The old races each mirror a fundamental force. Frost through the Zamor, fire through the giants, light through the Newman, and darkness through the Nox. The game is steeped in duality, almost to a melancholic degree. It's hard not to notice how these opposing natures shape everything. Fire and ice were never meant to harmonize, so their conflict feels tragically inevitable. It's no surprise they are locked in an age-old battle. They could never coexist. Sworn, eternal enemies. The knights are said to be heroes, victorious against the giants. One of America's champions, so ancient they actually predate America. And yet when you find them on the snowy mountaintops, you'll notice their settlements left in ruins, their arms in shackles. As for why they were imprisoned, there isn't much information to go on. Only theories and hearsay. When America called for them to fight alongside her, they were already at war with that very foe. Whether they were willingly on her side. Is it possible that America betrayed the Zamor Knights, just as she had done with the trolls who had fought alongside her? We can assume from the victory of the war with the giants, the Zamor proved themselves more than worthy. So much so that they could have possibly become a threat with a perceived flame of ambition of its own. The Zamor Knights have long practiced cold sorceries on top of their snowy mountains, in devotion to winter, or possibly something else. When you take a look at Ronnie's armor description, it calls icy sorcery heretical, and that her mentor taught her in secrecy. Held as heroes, but their cold sorcery is called heretical? What would inspire such a term? Here's my theory. Who else could possibly be frost-powered, located on the snowy mountaintops? Borealis, the freezing fog. In Borealis Mist, the description says the ice dragons were once lords of the mountaintops long ago, until they were defeated by the fire giants and chased from the peak. Dragons were on these mountaintops, just as the Zamor and the giants, holding such astonishing powers. While I stress this is speculation, the knights may have once worshipped frost dragons like Borealis, just as the beastmen of Farum Azula worshipped ancient storm dragons. The connections. The Ice-Wren hatchet can be found at Temple Quarters southeast of the site of Grace in a chest located inside the ruined bell tower, with an item description that says, a hatchet with a frost-coated blade, one of several gifts given by Castle Sol in the distant north, known as freezing fog. The blade is thought to be of a dragon scale and inflicts a powerful frost effect, made from an airy dragon scale, and it originates from Castle Sol, a place tied to Godwin and the founding of the dragon cult. The hatchet cold scaling no int, its ornamentation nearly identical to the Zamor curved sword. Coincidence or connection? There's also a Zamor Knight guarding the ashes of ancient dragon knight Christophe, right near Atlas Plateau. An honorable knight of Lindell, who was also a devout worshipper of the ancient dragons. Far from the mountaintops, it doesn't seem random. When you take a closer look at their weapons, you'll see they aren't skilled within. Unlike moon-based cold sorceries linked to Renala and Ronnie, their frost is different. It doesn't come from the moon. Is it possible that in a time long ago predating the war against the fire giants, even America, the Zamor were practicing, just like the beastmen of Faram were practicing, and in their worship and servitude, they inherited their powers from dragon worship. I'd also like to mention, you find an ancient hero of Zamor locked away at an Evergol in Weeping Peninsula, and in his possession is Ratigan's scar seal. Is he possibly guarding it? Was the hero tasked with keeping such an item? And why is he so far away from the mountaintops he called home, locked in an Evergol? Across the Soulsborne series, there's a reoccurring pattern. Influential beings are exalted for their strengths, elevated and celebrated for their prowess, only to be discarded the moment the reigning monarch or ruling forces judges them to have outlived their usefulness, or to have become too unruly to maintain, too unpredictable to keep in line.